Hi Scoots, I'm Inksy, and this winged destruction with feathers is Blot. And in this video, I'm going to be doing something completely different. As you may know by now, my channel thus far has been primarily dedicated to reworking my old portrait art. But what you might not know is that I'm actually more of a character/concept artist, and the portraits were mainly me getting back in touch with some of my older roots, if that makes sense. So what I've been really wanting to do for a while now is take my surreal portraits and turn them into full-body characters with their own designs, their own backstories, magic, the whole thing. And since I love including the community in these projects, I actually posted a short video asking you guys for ideas and concepts for these characters, and there were quite a few really cool suggestions from you guys, so thank you. Alright, getting right into it, I started off by sketching a rough lineup of all the characters, and when I say rough, I absolutely mean that, because these are stickmen. Largely disproportionate stickmen, but no matter. These are just meant to give me an idea of the pose and height I want these characters to have. I mean, seriously, these two look like they have the body of Dracula from Hotel Transylvania, so proportions weren't exactly on my priority list at this point. But anyway, once I was happy with the stickman, which is not exactly saying much considering they took like 2 seconds to draw, I then refined it a bit by adding rough character designs for each of them, so their face, hair, and outfit kind of thing, which to be honest aren't really clear or visible at the moment considering we are still very much in the rough stages where everything looks borderline horrific and incoherent. But not to worry, we are in the business of trusting the process, though my trust is dwindling at the moment because what the f*** is that? On a completely different note, if you're wondering why I sketched all the characters next to each other from the get-go instead of just drawing them separately and then putting them in a lineup, it's because it's generally easier to control character variety and visual consistency when you can see the characters side by side from the beginning. It also prevents characters from looking too similar to each other or even like disjointed, especially when it comes to like height and body shape. And I also made sure to sketch each character with a pose and expression that portrayed a bit of their personality. I mention this because if you're getting into animation or game design or basically anything to do with designing a bunch of characters that are from the same world, then I would definitely recommend doing this rather than designing them all separately. Now next I'm going to choose a select few characters that I will refine and explore in this video, since I will be splitting up this project into multiple videos so that I don't become more insane than I already am. So the characters I chose to start with are the 3 queens, since they are quite integral to this world that I'm building here. Who are the queens? Well, we have Queen Vidalia, Queen Sidira, and Queen Navaria. Yes, it does not escape me that all their names end quite similarly, but it's okay, doesn't matter. First up, I'm going to be working on Queen Vidalia. You probably noticed that her stickman sketch had a different pose to how she does now, and that's because I initially wanted her to be this elegant and confident character, hence why her hand was specifically positioned like this. But as I developed her, I began to like the idea of not only making her character seem calm, collected, and confident, but also giving her a bit of anxiousness and nervousness to her, so I changed the pose to reflect that. Well, more specifically her hand pose, because I still wanted her to seem confident and collected, hence why her face still kind of like shows that, oh, she's quite serious, oh, she's quite like regal and all that, but if you look at her hand and how she's holding her wrist, I want to show that that's maybe her subconsciously trying to soothe her anxiety. Because my idea is that everyone looks up to her and looks to her for leadership, and that's why she feels like she has to hide how anxious and nervous she actually is, because she wants to be strong for everyone. So I'm hoping that her holding her wrist like that is kind of like a subtle implication that, oh, maybe she's not as confident as she is trying to seem. I then moved on to color and rendering. Now, at this point, I hadn't yet decided on a rendering style that I wanted to go with. When doing my character or concept art, it would mostly be for a client or a job, so I was always adapting the style to whatever was needed, which is great for versatility, not so great for developing your own unique style. So for this, I initially defaulted to my more realistic kind of rendering, but this made her lose a lot of personality, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not unhappy with the rendering itself, but I think it kind of takes away from the character I'm trying to portray. So I did another option where the rendering is more stylized, and this to me is way more visually interesting and brings out her character a lot more. Happy with that, I was honestly really happy with how she turned out. Until my brother walked in. Oh, hello, brother.
Hello.
Hi, what you want, bitch?
Just come and say hi.
Just to say hi or just be annoying?
No, just be annoying and say hi.
Okay, younger sibling energy, well done. So, oh yeah, wait, what do you think?
Ooh.
Yeah, what your thinkings?
That's good. There's 2 versions of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to do like a realistic shading and a stylistic shading because my default is to be more realistic, I guess, but then I think it looks like she's fake.
I like the left one more.
Yeah, I also think
what is what is wrong with her? What is wrong with her arm?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It looks like she's carrying the arm of a corpse. It's so long.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Look at where her fingers end. Like, her hand is on her knees, but that pose wouldn't allow that.
Oh, wait, really? Oh.
Unless I'm stupid, but that's a witch.
It's a witch? Wait, so what? Witches have like long
creepy,
arms?
like, finger pointing and the
like
claw,
a banshee type.
Touch you little children.
Okay. So arms are too long.
Only feedback I have would be just shortening those arms.
Okay. I guess I got like kind of engulfed in like the stylism of it. Stylism? I don't know if that's a word. But like just how tall she is, I thought I had to kind of compensate the arms to match that, but I think maybe I overcompensated because now...
Yeah, thanks.
Shut up.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you draw this, like, even if it's just a sketch, can you draw with like this one with the arms like stretched out?
No, no.
I'm scared. I want the wingspan of this person. Like, she's gonna take off. But other than that, it looks great.
Okay, so arms problem.
Arms big problem. Long problem. Long problem.
Long problem. Okay, I'll change it. Thank you for the feedback. All right, I think that looks better. Moving on. Next up is Queen Sidera, and I was honestly so excited to work on this character since her portrait is still one of my favorites that I've done. Since I now figured out the process and style of rendering that I want to do for these characters, it made Sidera's design quicker to get through and there wasn't really any issues. I designed it to have a similar pose to Vidalia because I have an idea for their dynamic that she like looks up to her, both physically and metaphorically, but I will get into the lore and all that later on. And finally, Queen Navaria. She was a bitch to draw. Seriously, I honestly don't know why I struggle so much with her design. Like, I was really happy with the sketch, but when I started refining it and adding color, it started to look, well, shit. Like, I think her proportions were off, and also there was something with the face that was bugging me, and I don't know if I was having a weird day or whatever, but I could not, for the life of me, figure out what was wrong, and I spent way too much time tweaking and adjusting to no avail. So I just redid the whole thing, the whole sketch. Same pose, but I just needed a fresh start rather than fighting a design that clearly wasn't working. So what I ended up doing was adjusting her eye shape by making them a tad bit larger. Then I also changed her mouth expression and made her lips a bit bigger and changed her face shape and hair. It's a lot of changes, but I think this is so much better. I mean, look at the difference. Seriously. Oh, and I changed her outfit as well so that she no longer looks like she just walked out of the most depressing high school. I then finished rendering and voila, here are the 3 queens of Warmoria. I had so much fun doing this video and put a lot of my heart and soul into this, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And in the next video, I will be exploring Watergaze and Amazon. Don't worry, their actual names will be revealed in their video, so stay tuned for that. I'm really excited. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.